Short story is first story. A Belgian citizen used to cross the border to Germany on a daily basis for 20 years on his bicycle, carrying a bag full of dirt on his back. The German border guards were sure that he was smuggling something, but every time they found nothing but dirt with him. The real secret was not revealed until after the death of Mr. D'Estaing. When I found the following sentence in his memoirs, "Even my wife did not know that I built my fortune on smuggling bicycles, too." Germany. As for the element of intelligence here, it is throwing dust in people's eyes and diverting people's attention from your real goal.
The second story, also, it was narrated on the authority of Hudhaifa ibn al-Yaman that he said, "The messenger of Allah called me while we were in the battle of the trench and said to me, 'Go to the Quraysh camp and see what they are doing.' So I went and entered among the people, and the wind was so strong that no one could recognize anyone." Abu Sufyan said, "O people of Quraysh, let each man look at who he is sitting with for fear of intruders and spies." Hudhaifa said, "So I took the hand of the man next to me and said, 'Who are you, man?' He said, confused, 'I am so-and-so, son of so-and-so.'" The element of intelligence here is taking the initiative and acting with confidence that removes doubt.
The third story, as for Abu Hanifa, he spoke one day and said, "I needed water in the desert, and a Bedouin passed by with a water skin, but he refused to sell it to me for less than 5 dirhams. So I gave him the dirhams, and after I had my fill, I said, 'O Bedouin, would you like some gruel?' He said, 'Bring it.' So I gave him dry gruel. He ate from it until he was thirsty. Then he said, 'Give me a drink of water.' I said, 'The cup is for 5 dirhams, so I got my money back and kept the water skin." And the element of intelligence here is hiding the intention and creating the conditions for winning.
The fourth story finally, there is a really smart move made by a French nobleman. One day, he returned to his palace worried and frowning, so his wife asked him about the reason, and he said, "The Marquis Cagliostro, who is known for practicing magic and fortune-telling, told me that you are cheating on me with my closest friend, so I slapped him unconsciously." The wife said calmly, "Do I understand from this that you did not believe his claim?" He said, "Of course I did not believe his words, but he threatened me by saying if what I say is true, you will wake up tomorrow having turned into a black cat." The next morning, the wife woke up to find a sleeping cat next to her, so she screamed in terror and panic, then returned and knelt in front of it, apologizing and asking for forgiveness. At that very moment, the husband came out from behind the curtain with a drawn sword in his hand. The element of intelligence here is exploiting the superstitions of others and directing their thinking to an end that serves your interest.
The fifth story, when the court was about to pronounce the death sentence on the killer of his wife, whose body was not found despite the availability of all the evidence that condemned the husband. The defense lawyer stood up and grabbed at any straw to save his client. Then he said to the judge to issue a death sentence on a killer. The court must have an unquestionable certainty that the accused killed the victim. And now, he will enter through the court door. Strong evidence of my client's innocence and that his wife is alive and well. And the court door opened, and the eyes of everyone in the hall turned to the door. And after moments of silence and anticipation, no one entered through the door. And here the lawyer said everyone was waiting for the victim to enter. And this confirms that you are not 100% convinced that my client killed his wife. And here the hall erupted in admiration of the lawyer's intelligence, and the judges discussed the situation, and the surprising verdict came. A death sentence. There was an unquestionable certainty that the man killed his wife. After the verdict, people wondered how such a verdict could be issued. The judge simply replied, "When the lawyer hinted to all of us that the wife was not killed and was still alive, we all turned our eyes to the door, waiting for her to enter except for one person in the hall. It was the accused husband, because he knows very well that his wife was killed and that the dead do not walk."